Hello and welcome to the Ideal Life and Money Academy channel. If you're new here, thank you for visiting. I'm Coach Mike, and Coach Jason won't be joining us today, but he and I created ILMA, Ideal Life and Money Academy, for you to live your ideal life years, if not decades sooner. And today we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about 2025 year in review. It is January 2026, and one thing that I love to do is look back at 2025, especially when it comes to expenses. And being a nerd myself, I have done this in a way that is great for this. If you're watching this, you may be listening on a podcast, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you will see me share my screen about the numbers and how I track this. And then we'll talk about the benefits of doing that as well. So I'm going to share my screen, and here you'll see my personal budget spreadsheet. So Vertex 42, I've talked about this in the past. This is a great resource to get spreadsheets. So if you don't really know how to create them, or if you just want to use someone else's template, Vertex 42 is the way to go. And here I did the personal budget spreadsheet. I kind of modified it for our needs and how I want to do things. Different categories, I was able to change things around. But I'm very pleased with this because, again, if you're watching, it gives me a running balance of the entire year, right? January all the way to December. And then this is 2025. So at the high level at the top here, it gives me my total income. So it adds up all of my income in this red section, and it gives it the total for the month, then the total for the year, and the average for the month. Same for expenses, and we'll scroll down and we'll see all of those expenses as well. And then it gives me a net. And the big thing, one of the big benefits of me doing this is to make sure that this number, right, that my total income minus my total expenses is greater than zero. I want to make sure that I'm not going backwards. And if I am, I want to know why I went backwards. But this year we have a $21,000 net increase because of the amount of hours that I was able to work this year. Or we were, both Elle and I, and investments. So if we come down to this first section, like the red section here, gives us our income. So I've split it up in L's income. EC&S is an engineering contract that I have going on. My coaching business, investments, right? So I split those up. L has her investments. I have my investments. And then other. So just other things that we have gotten along the way. And then the total. So the total is $83,000 for 2025 for total income, which sounds fantastic. Great. Especially for the life that we live. I'm pretty happy about that. And if you haven't heard me say this before, Elle and I became millionaires in our 30s, and I have never earned over $100,000 a year. And this also shows you that I didn't do that again. Right? $83,000 for the year. Gotten close. We'll see what next year brings. But that's not a goal of mine at the moment. My goal is not to make $100,000 a year. My goal is to live my ideal life, which I want for you as well. And maybe that is more money for you. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to live the life that I live. I'm not going to live the life that you live. And that's okay. It's a beautiful way to be. So let's continue on to expenses. The first thing that I always do is give. I want to put that at the top of the list. So giving is here. And this helps me track how much I gave this year financially. Now, I love to give and I promote giving 10%. And you can see here, I only gave $2,500 in money out of the $83,000 of income. So I'm a little lower than the 10%. So now I get to readjust. I get to readjust and do this. Boom, what do I want to do? And that is my top goal for 2026 is to do more giving and more active giving. So even though this is financially, Elle and I did give with our time, and we want to continue that in 2026. And we've chosen to include our active giving as part of our tithe, our 10%. Again, there's no right or wrong. You get to choose what you want to do here. Next is taxes. Now, our income, $83,000 a year, is great, but I also, as a contractor, self-employed, I still have to pay taxes. So this tax was for 2024, and then I paid 2025 ahead as well. Started doing some quarterlies at the end there. So totally, we've paid $17,515 in taxes. Oh, this one as well. Australian taxes? Yes, we still owe taxes in Australia because we have investments there, even though we don't live there. Phone and internet, pretty consistent. It's $45 every single day. $45 every single month. That's $20 for myself and $25 for L, and a total of $540 for the year. Next category is ATM withdrawals. So this is every time that we went to the ATM and got cash out, which, by the way, we use Charles Schwab, and they have free ATM charges around the world. So that is why we chose them. We don't use a credit card, and this debit card has worked around the world with any currency, and there's no charge. I love it. So Charles Schwab, you got a promotion from me. This is mainly, ATM withdrawals is mainly for groceries. You can see here, and we spent $5,840 in groceries for the year for 2 people. I think that's pretty good, right? Especially for the amount of food that I eat. Then we have a personal category. This is mainly for L. Think of massages, getting her toes or nails done, and doing different things like that. That's kind of money that she gets to spend. And it's really great and beneficial. So men, hear this. When married, you have a budget. Miscellaneous, personal, fun money, whatever you want to call it. And you can see it's pretty consistent at $200 for most of these months for L. And for $200, she gets to go and do whatever she wants. She can go and have one 3-hour massage, or how much ever they cost, or she can go out shopping and hunting and come home with 20 bags full of stuff. It doesn't matter because we've already discussed it and we've put it in as $200 of the budget. So it's $200 spent one time, or she can spend one time, one trip, and buy a whole lot of things. Right? But I don't have to get mad or upset or make assumptions that those 20 bags cost $2,000. No, I know it cost the $200 because we've had the discussion. We put it in the budget. We already know what that is. Restaurants. This is pretty eye-opening. We only spent $425 on going out to restaurants. Man, some of you spend that in a day because maybe you're going out multiple times a day. Maybe you have a family of 5. Maybe there's drinks involved. There's so many things. $425 on restaurants is amazingly good, and I'm very happy with that. And I have a feeling some of this miscellaneous stuff could have included that, but our miscellaneous category was only $1,000 for the year. So this is really a fun and cool way to see and have an overlook and know that, oh, I pulled $9,000 out in ATM withdrawals. Well, where did that all go? And this is a great point for me to make here because this is January 2026. Don't try to do this month, right? Don't look back 12 months from now and try to figure out what you spent $1,100 on in ATM withdrawals. All right. Oh, you also see these little red notes here. The $600 here was for food for February. Right, so $600 of that rolled over to February. And I take little notes. So again, don't try to do this all at once like a whole year. Do this every month, or maybe until you get into the habit every 2 weeks or every week. It doesn't take a long time. I mean, now I do this every first of the month, and I don't spend more than 15 minutes on this every month. So 15 minutes that's 3 hours a year. 3 hours a year to create the spreadsheet to be able to give me the benefit of knowing that my income was higher than my expenses and where did all those expenses go. Next. Now, if you don't know this, Elle and I do live in an RV. Our home is an RV in the US, even though right now I'm sitting in Japan and we are here for a ski season, right? We're here, we came over and we're experiencing this. This is the life we live. I've made transportation its own category because this is our home. Fuel and gas for the year, we spent $1,800. Now, some of you spend more than that, and you're only going to the grocery store and work, and you haven't even taken a trip, right? We got to drive from North Carolina through the mountains all the way up around the Great Lakes to Niagara Falls and back down to North Carolina. That's what we did. Oh, wait. No, we were in Florida. Yeah, we were in Florida last January. So we even included that, right? So $1,800 to do a lot of the East Coast of the U.S. Insurance, maintenance, repairs, propane, camping. So all together, including that fuel, was $4,850 for transportation. Oh, note, if you don't know, we do not have any payments. We have no debt, so the RV has been paid for, and now it's only $5,000 a year, in this case, last year, to use. We may spend around, I assume we will spend around that same thing in 2026. The next category here is health. So we have chosen not to buy health insurance in the US. So therefore, we spend a little bit more money on things that we do. Doctors, dentists. We also do a parasite cleanse every year. And then other miscellaneous things. We got some blood tests taken. Elle started hormone replacement therapy, so HRT. In total for 2025, we spent $4,500. Very happy with that. Next is entertainment. In our entertainment, how I listed this was activities, holidays, and other. And I have little red notes on what the other is. And parking. We went to Disney last year. Um, Membership to Spirit for an airline. What else we got there? Flights to Vegas. We did air show, did other flights. Yeah, we took quite a bit of flights this year. Conferences, caverns, and holidays. So here we are in Japan. So I just lumped all of December. So if you scroll back through here, you can see there's really no expenses in December. And that's because we've been in Japan all of December. And I just put all $2,000 in there that we spent. So that's going to be food and transportation and experiences and now snowboarding and stuff like that. So that's why that number's there. And total entertainment for 2025 is $9,535. And lastly, which arguably you could put at the top, depending on where you're at in your journey, but this is savings. So retirement funds, investments, and others. So right now, I only contributed to my retirement funds. Elle and I were able to fully fund our IRAs for 2025, and that was $14,000 total, so $7,000 each. And for 2025, I'm very happy with that because one, I can't help but to save, and I assume in 2026 it will be the max again. And this year, 2026, is going to be $7,500 each that we contribute, and that's going to be a total of $15,000 for the year. Now, why is that beneficial? Why would I do this? Well, again, like I said, it's only 15 minutes a month, 3 hours a year to do this. And it's just a great way to know, well, where did the income come from? What will my taxes most likely be? And where can I improve? Right? I'm pointing at giving for us on this spreadsheet. We can improve on giving and give myself some grace. Like, man, talk about a roller coaster of income. Because sometimes, and I have as an employee, had a very consistent same paycheck every single month. But you can see here the fluctuations to get to that 83,000 is pretty wild. May we only had an income of $5. So we didn't work. That came from an investment. I don't even, I mean, I didn't even see it. It was just rolled over, right? So like $5. But then I look around and I had a $14,000 month, 13,850 specifically, month of income. And the total, again, was 83,000 for the year. and the average is 7,000. And then my total expenses, the average was 5,000, with an average of almost $2,000 saved every month. Now, again, I'm happy with that because I want this number, my net number, to be greater than zero. Because if you're going backwards, you're either pulling from savings or going into debt. So that's my encouragement to you. Spend a little bit of time. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video, but spend a little bit of time of doing this. Your future self. So think about this. This is January 2026. January 2027. What will you wish you had done financially? Do you want to have spent more on giving, less on eating out? Because maybe that number is going to be thousands of dollars. Maybe sometimes some people, some clients have had tens of thousands of dollars in restaurants. Or do you want to make sure that you're saving more into retirement? There's no right or wrong answer here. You just want to be aware, because then you can start living your ideal life. Right? We do not care where you spend your money, as long as you do it on purpose and not go backwards. So stay debt free, my friends. And if you're interested in knowing how we got here, Elle and I, join ILMA. We have a membership open. We have our investing course and we have our budgeting course. So click the link below and we'll see you in the next video.